28-year-old Sydney woman was hospitalized for drinking matcha on a daily basis. Iron transfusion was immediately performed.
Many people think matcha is super healthy with so many health benefits, but there is a serious misconception there. Reducing cholesterol, promoting weight loss, and even working as a cure for cancer and heart disease. Is that all true? The truth is, a lot of it is unwarranted, and there are many caveats and constraints. And it could cause even a serious harm and put you in a hospital if it's not taken carefully. In this video, we'll examine this one by one so that you can have a healthy, sustainable matcha life.
I just want to say that Vietnamese coffee is very dangerous. I'm very nauseous right now because the caffeine gave me a huge spike in energy earlier and now I feel sick.
Many of you may have experienced that after drinking coffee, energy level spikes up, but after an hour or two, the mood comes crashing down. Matcha gives you more of a sustained energy without such nasty crash. That is why many switch from coffee to matcha. But is this argument entirely true? Is there enough evidence for that? Coffee beans have 3 to 4 times more caffeine than matcha leaves. That being said, because coffee is brewed and you don't actually eat the beans, the resulting drink has almost the same amount of caffeine as matcha. The nature of caffeine itself is not that different between the two. So what makes matcha special here? So the logic goes, caffeine is like hitting that gas pedal. It wakes you up, sharpens your focus, and gets you moving. The problem is that, on its own, it can push you too hard. You may get jitters, racing hearts, then comes a crash. But matcha has one more important thing. In addition to caffeine, matcha is also rich in L-theanine. This is also called a umami content. L-theanine has an effect of evening out this energy spike and keeps you steady, just like a smooth suspension system in your car. In a study where participants consumed 97 milligrams of L-theanine combined with 40 milligrams of caffeine versus a placebo, researchers found that the combo significantly improved accuracy during task switching and boosted self-reported alertness, while also reducing feelings of tiredness. Let me ask you this though. There are so many drinks out there. Is matcha really the only drink that has this smoothing out effect? What about guayana and mate? Although guayana and mate have high caffeine content, it doesn't have anything to counter against it. So the caffeine is not much different from that of coffee. What if we compare matcha to regular green tea or even black tea? In fact, both green tea and black tea also has L-theanine, but matcha has much more of that, up to 4 to 10 times more. So all of that said, the conclusion is it's not wrong to assume that among all the drinks out there, matcha truly is unique in giving you the calming, sustained energy that is very different from that of coffee. The weight loss industry has been on an exponential rise, and in 2025, the total market will likely hit a whopping $450 billion. This is up more than 50% from the level of 2010. Aside from the recent craze on the weight loss tablet Ozempic, many food products has been promoted and touted to help with the weight loss. You may know watermelon binge eating diet to coconut water overnight oat diet. Some are proven to work well, while others are quite dubious to say the least.
Ozempic, what is it and should you do it to lose weight?
I'm the only one who's going to tell you. You need to start oiling your body. Oiling your belly button.
And is matcha effective in burning your stubborn fat? The proponent's logic goes, matcha is packed with caffeine and those special antioxidants called EGCG catechins. That is epigallocatechin gallate. Basically, caffeine revs up your metabolism so that you burn more of calories, while EGCG supposedly tells your body to use more fat for energy source instead of carbohydrates. The real question is, does it really burn your fat in comparison to other stuff you eat day to day? Because there are so many other things that's beneficial to you. The answer is these two kiwi fruits. Studies shows that the boost in metabolism and fat burning will probably offset the calories of these two kiwis, which is about 100 kilocalories. Not a lot, right? Which is not as much as I expected. Plus, this powder, which is much cheaper than matcha, has much more of EGCG, a fat-burning antioxidant, than matcha. Let me show you all. It is actually a normal green tea powder called sencha in Japan. Sencha or normal green tea generally has 2 to 3 times more EGCG than matcha. So if you want fat burning, go for more economical regular green tea powder. A few websites even claim that matcha can prevent dementia or even cure cancer. But what is that about? Is that really the case? Unfortunately, there is only inconclusive evidence that these are all true.
At the moment from human studies is mixed.
There's no doubt that matcha is rich in antioxidants, and food rich in antioxidants have a lot of benefits. This is true especially when it comes to reducing bad cholesterol level and improving blood vessel functions. The study proves that matcha is beneficial, but here again, it's because of the EGCG level. This means that the benefit is greater if you consume regular green tea powder rather than matcha. It may sound very strange to you if I say matcha can be harmful. It can even put you in a hospital.
I was not expecting you guys to go crazy about my matcha problems. So double whammy from Crohn's and my iron and matcha. And this is what led me to finding out I was very, very low in iron, almost anemic, and I need to get an iron infusion.
This is what exactly happened to Sydney woman Laura. She was actually hospitalized for drinking matcha on a daily basis. But what actually happened to her? Not many people know about this, but tannins and EGCG in matcha can actually block iron absorption, but not all types of iron. Specifically speaking, it blocks only the non-heme iron absorption. Non-heme irons are typically found in vegetables, beans, and food items fortified with artificial iron. Iron contained in meat and fish are not affected here. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, you gotta be quite careful about this. Laura suffered from severe headache and started developing skin bruises even, and also brittle nails. By the time she was hospitalized, she was almost anemic and had to go through iron transfusion immediately. I gotta tell you that it doesn't apply to the same extent to everyone because Laura had another pre-existing condition called Crohn's disease that also made it hard to take in nutrients. There's one more thing one needs to be careful about regarding matcha. The biggest difference is that other types of tea, you don't actually eat the tea leaves directly. You put the leaves into a tea bag, you pour hot water over it, brew the tea, and you actually are drinking only the tea flavored water. Of course, some of the nutrients and pesticides will seep into the water, but the amount is actually limited. For matcha, it's not the case. You ground the matcha leaves into powder, mix it with water, and actually drink the tea leaves itself. So you take in all the good nutrients, but also harmful elements along with it. And you know what those harmful elements are. It's hard to believe, but matcha production is not properly regulated in countries outside of Japan. Almost all Japanese tea producers do batch-by-batch testing to make sure that it's meeting the standard, but it's not necessarily the case for other countries. In fact, hundreds of exports from China is stopped at the EU borders or actually recalled from the market. It's a bit scary, right? So that's why I'm making a video on matcha safety risk, and I post it here when it's ready. And make sure you follow the channel for more matcha content and hit the like button. Arigatou gozaimasu. Sayonara.